Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Natalie. The reason I'm barefaced today is because I'm going to be telling you guys about my skin. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I've been on a new regimen. It's called the acne.org treatment. I've been using the acne.org treatment for about 1 month now, and so far I'm loving the results. And if you want to know more about how my skin has been doing, how every week was for me on the treatment, then stay tuned for more. So a bit of a background of my skin and how my skin has been ever since I was young or a teenager. I had really problematic skin, very oily skin, and always had breakouts. Like I really had terrible acne when I was 16. When I went to the dermatologist, they put me on a treatment called quinoderm. So quinoderm essentially is like benzoyl peroxide, and it was like 10% benzoyl peroxide. So it was very harsh on your skin. What happened is my skin started to peel, but my acne slowly started to clear. I think I was on that treatment for about 3 months, if I'm not wrong. But by the end of the 3rd month, my acne had actually cleared quite a bit. So of course, once you stop the regimen, it starts to sort of reverse. That's the unfortunate thing. So my acne was reversing slowly and slowly. And by the time I went back to uni, I was still having a bit of acne. So I went to the doctor, and again, they prescribed birth control pills for me. So at that age, being like in university, doctors always encourage that you use birth control, especially when you're abroad. It's something that's very widely used. So I decided, yes, okay, fine, I'll go on it. So I went on it, and for like 2-3 years after that, my skin was just having the best time ever. Like birth control actually regulated my skin so much. My skin was so clean and clear and smooth, and I was having the best time. So even if I went out drinking, or like I was not eating the best things, I wasn't drinking water, I wouldn't even break out. So I was just like, yeah, I'm good with this. So once I stopped, I think was it in August of last year, and my skin threw a fit. So this is very common once you're on birth control. Once you stop, your skin kind of, because of the hormonal imbalance, your skin always just breaks out incredibly. So this was the worst acne I've ever got. In August, like I remember crying. I'm like, oh my god, my skin, I'm sore. Do you know when your skin is like bumpy everywhere? Like, you know, the cystic ones that are inside your skin, and also some of them are out, and they're kind of pussy and sore. So I tried to cover up with makeup, but yeah, that wasn't covering it up at all. So I decided, let me do some research, and I found acne.org on Joanna Kinuthia's page. So I was so grateful. Immediately she started the regimen, I was just like on it. I'm like, okay, let me see if it works. And it really worked for her. And I was just like, you know what, let me actually get this product. So I decided that I'm going to just ship it on my own. I went onto the website, and for $44, you get the cleanser, the moisturizer, and the benzoyl peroxide. Let me just show them to you. So this is the cleanser, and then this is the moisturizer, and then this is the treatment. So I've put my treatment in a small container because I need to like move around with it. Especially I was moving around a lot when I was over the holidays, so I put it in this container. So essentially, the benzoyl peroxide is the main treatment that cures your acne. So if you're trying to be on a budget and you just want to get the treatment, then well and good, and then use another product as a cleanser and a moisturizer. That's fine. The only issue is that if you try to use something that's too harsh, your skin gets very sensitive on this thing. So you need something that's a very gentle and very basic cleanser and moisturizer. So I got those. That was about $44. And then because I knew that my acne wasn't so bad, it was bad, but then I knew it was very curable very quickly. So I decided that also, because I won't be using the treatment for too long, I decided to also get the glycolic acid. So the glycolic acid is like a chemical exfoliant which helps you get rid of the acne scarring after you've cured your acne. So I got the moisturizer, the cleanser, the benzoyl peroxide treatment, the moisturizer, and the glycolic acid, and that cost me $62. Now, because I know all of you guys will ask, here's the breakdown. So I spent $62 on the product, then I spent $8 to ship the product from acne.org to the US address that K Logistics uses. So the address that the guy gave me, you need to reach out to him, then he'll give you an address. So the address that he gave me, shipping from acne.org to that address, was $8. So I ended up spending $70 to get everything to the K Logistics warehouse. So once I got it to the K Logistics warehouse, he'll ship it to Kenya, and it took about 1 week. So Acne.org took 1 week to ship my stuff to K Logistics. Now K Logistics takes about 2 weeks if it's from the US, and usually about a week and a half, maybe a week if it's UK. So you can decide where you want to ship your product to, but I shipped to the US, and then that was 1 week, and then 2 weeks for K Logistics to send it to me. So it took me, and that shipping from the US to me, it cost me about 1,500. So it wasn't expensive, so I ended up spending 8,500 and had my product in 3 weeks. So if you guys want to know more about how you can ship, and I can just leave the details in the description box, and you can check if you're in Kenya. That's a good way for you to ship. You can also use Sugar Punch Kenya, whichever you please. Yeah, so now that I've given you guys all the details about the product, if you want to know how to get it and whatever, so let me tell you about how it's been for me. I guess everyone sort of has a different experience with acne.org, but the success rate is so high that I really believed that it would work for me. So the first week, here's a picture of how my face looked in the first week. I had a lot of acne scarring, like I had a few breakouts here and there, also quite a lot of hyperpigmentation. Now by this time I'd already tried to like keep my skincare routine very, very strict and stringent so that my skin would clear. So by now I'd already cleared quite a bit of my acne that I had before. Yeah, but I just wanted to get rid of it completely and get rid of the scars. Yeah. So the first week I didn't really have any issues. So with the treatment, you're supposed to, by the end of 4 weeks, use an entire length of your finger. So by week 1 I was just using like up to there. By end of week 1 I was just using that much. So it was very little. My skin took the benzoyl peroxide very fine. I'm not sure if it's because I've used it before. When I was about 16, I used a 10% benzoyl peroxide, and this one is only 2.5%. So my skin was okay, nothing crazy. I was moisturizing as I would. I hadn't started to use the glycolic acid yet. You're supposed to use it after 1 month. I saw that my breakouts were reducing, but I was still getting breakouts. By the second week, I increased the benzoyl peroxide until about there. So my skin started to get very sensitive and red. So as you can see, my breakouts have stopped, but my skin is actually quite red and sensitive. Yeah, it was just red and kind of sore. So by the third week, I'd increased the benzoyl peroxide to just that amount, and it was quite a lot. Like, it's quite a lot. So by that time, my skin started to get very dry and cracking, and like I had lots of dead skin. So you could see around like my chin, my mouth area, it's very dark, and around my forehead there's so much dead skin, and my skin was so dry. On the treatment, they actually encourage you to buy the jojoba oil, but it was so expensive. I think it was about 18 pounds or $18 or no, $20, I think. So they encourage you to buy jojoba oil, which helps with, you can add to your moisturizer because your skin gets so dry. So I decided to get rosehip oil. And I also got this when I was shipping stuff with K Logistics. So, and this is from Amazon. So rosehip oil is very good. It's known for like hyperpigmented skin and clearing acne scars and all that stuff. So I thought I might as well use an oil that would help me moisturize and also help me deal with the scarring. So I got rosehip oil, and I started to add that onto my skincare routine. So I would drop like 2 drops into my moisturizer and mix it, and then I'd apply on my skin. So that helps quite a bit to get rid of dead skin. Also in the morning, I would just use the oil. Before, I just use the oil to like rub and sort of get rid of that excess dead skin. There was so much dead skin, as you can see on my pic. So I wasn't getting any new breakouts, no new breakouts, but my skin was dry and flaky AF. So yeah. So by the 4th week, I increased the benzoyl peroxide to a full finger length. Now I started to notice that my eyes were getting irritated. So I was applying benzoyl peroxide next to my eyes. You know how you're supposed to avoid this area, but the benzoyl peroxide kind of moves, especially when you're applying the moisturizer on top of the benzoyl peroxide. It moves. So it was getting into my eyes, and my eyes started to swell. Like, they were red and swollen, and it was just not pretty. So I had to now manage that. I would apply an eye cream before my benzoyl peroxide, and then now I would apply the benzoyl peroxide, and then I would apply moisturizer after that. So that was just a tip for you guys. Like, if you want to apply anything on your eyes, because your skin under your eyes gets so dry. You can imagine your entire skin is already dry. Now your under eye is super dry. So I would advise you get an eye cream or apply some sort of oil. I also sometimes use the rosehip oil around my eyes before I apply the benzoyl peroxide. yeah, so by the 4th week, my skin was really irritated and really like just, I don't know, it was just not happy. It was going through so much, but I could already tell I wasn't getting any breakouts. And if I would get one, I actually got one pimple here, around here, which by the next day it was gone. So I could tell the pimples were now clearing out a lot faster. So we're now in week 5, and this is how my skin looks. I've stayed there. I've stayed at one finger length of the benzoyl peroxide, but this week I'm now using the glycolic acid. So it's really helped with my scarring. Even for the few days I've used it in this week, I can already tell my scars are fading. It also helps get rid of the dead skin. So I don't need to scrub my face anymore. I don't even think it's advisable to use the oil to like rub your face, but now with the glycolic acid, I apply it every day. So you can actually use it every day, or you can use it every other day. So if you use it every day, you're supposed to mix a half of the glycolic acid with a half pump of glycolic acid with a half of moisturizer, and mix it and apply it every night. But if you're using it every other day, then you just use it as in place of your moisturizer. So I'm very excited to say that my acne is clear. I have no new pimples at all. Like, my skin is actually clean. It's clear. I can tell that the texture is reducing. I can tell that the hyperpigmentation is reducing, especially now that I'm using the glycolic acid. So I'm so excited to actually see my forehead. I don't know if you guys can see, but my forehead is clean. The scarring on my forehead is actually disappearing completely. I think it's the first one that will get clear. And then on this side, I have more scarring on this side than on this side. So I feel like this side will clear then first, and then this side will clear after. So I'm happy to say I don't have any new breakouts, any fresh breakouts, nothing. So I'll be using the treatment for maybe 3 or 4 months before I actually now start to wean myself off. But I'm very much focusing on clearing my dark scars, my acne spots, and my hyperpigmentation and all that stuff. And then hopefully for the first time in my life, I'm gonna have clear skin. I'm so excited to be able to leave the house without makeup. Like, it's just something that's, I've never had clear skin in my life. So I'm very excited to actually, for the first time, have makeup, be able to leave the house without makeup or without a bit of foundation or powder or something. So yeah, if you guys are interested in my journey, please stay tuned for more. I'll be doing monthly check-ins, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, please do, because you'll get more updates there. So yes, thanks for watching that video. If you have any questions about anything to do with the acne.org treatment, I will leave a link to their YouTube channel. It has a lot of information of how to use acne.org. There's also so many people on YouTube who have used it, and most of them, actually I think all of them, are non-sponsored, so they're very, very honest reviews. If you have any questions for me, then please leave them in the comment section below. And of course, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and stay tuned for more videos. Bye guys.